From the Prescott Field in the community of Prescott, Pennsylvania, Comcast Cable Channel 23 presents the Men's Class C Fastpitch State Softball Tournament. Good afternoon, everyone, on a hot, sunny day here in Prescott, Pennsylvania. Chuck Curlin joining me, Ken Phelps along for the Men's Fastpitch State Softball Tournament. Chuck, this is the best of the best from around the Commonwealth. Talking with some of the people beforehand, probably I'd say roughly 70 teams in this Class C classification here in the state of Pennsylvania. 37 teams make the state softball tournaments. And the doubleheader that we have for you here this afternoon, got a couple of local teams. We'll start in the first game. We have Lauck Sporting Goods from Myerstown taking on D'Ambrosio Dodge out of Elverson. And we'll start with the local guys, Lauck's. And an interesting story there with the pitcher. He's pretty studly.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Scott Stout, what a job this guy's on. He's the only left-handed pitcher in the tournament, believe it or not. The guy's pitched 6 games. He's won 4 out of 2 in this tournament. Shows a lot of versatility, very cool, calm, and collected. Has a nice pitch array. You got it, likes to work the riser. He has a great drop pitch, and I think his big key is he works the corners rather well, and he really adjusts his speed, and that's been with most of his success, and that's one of the reasons why this team has gotten where it's gotten with the cool, calm, and collectedness of their star pitcher.
Yeah, made the couple of national tournaments in 1998 and 1999, one in Class C, and 99 actually in Class B, which is up a level, which is a pretty impressive note for them. They're taking on D'Ambrosio Dodge out of Elverson, Pennsylvania, and their staff, the pitching staff, a little bit interesting. A guy who is not shy on experience, but hasn't been around that long either.
Exactly. Only 25 years old. Brett Riggins, actually the coach's son, another way to look at it as well. The guy started pitching when he was only 15 years old. One thing I have to say about this guy is he's very exuberant, shows a lot of versatility in the fact that a lot of these guys went to high school together at Twin Valley. They all played basketball together, and that's one of the, I think, strong points of this team. He was telling me a lot of guys that can really move, very athletic ball club. And you have a guy on the mound who has 10 years experience, but he's only 25, so he's got a lot of live arm. And he almost throws the same type of array as Stout in terms of he likes to mix up his pitches. He likes to adjust his speed. His out pitch, though, is the downer. When he throws the down, he throws that pretty consistently for strikes, and if he's getting that over the plate, he's a tough customer to beat. Well, watching some of the earlier games here out of the Prescott Field reminds me of a scene in Bull Durham where they talk about the pitching in the big leagues. Everybody can hit a fastball, but there is ungodly breaking stuff in the bigs, and you will see it here this afternoon as well. These guys are very, very talented. It will be some very good softball. We have a doubleheader for you today. We've got Lauck's and D'Ambrosio Dodge in game 1, and then South Lebanon taking on Michael Bees, a team out of Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania, in the second contest of our doubleheader. We'll have that for you as well. When we come back from break, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening pitch here, but first we need to thank some sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rister's Family Restaurant on Route 422 in Stoushburg, 4 miles east of Myerstown. Check out our soup and salad bar featuring Ernie's Soft Ice Cream. That's Rister's Family Restaurant, dining with a touch of Pennsylvania Dutch. Good luck to our local teams in this year's tournament. Also, TNT Sanitation, serving Lebanon County with quality refuse service for more than 5 years. TNT can provide you with residential service and commercial dumpsters. TNT wishes the participants of this tournament the best of luck. Call TNT today at 866-2322. Finally, discover Pennsylvania's hidden jewel, Pine Meadows Golf Complex in Fredericksburg. We challenge you to find better fairways in central Pennsylvania and come by the Wetlands Restaurant and Lounge. Come out and enjoy a fantastic dining experience for lunch or dinner at the Wetlands. The public is welcome. Located on Route 343 North, just north of Lebanon. Check out Pine Meadows Golf Complex and Wetlands on the web at www.pinemeadowsgolf.com. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening pitch from Prescott Field momentarily here on Comcast Cable Channel 23. Welcome back to Prescott Field here in Prescott, Pennsylvania in eastern Lebanon County for the Fast Pitch Softball State Tournament. This is the Class C classifications, and Chuck, we should probably clarify. People might wonder how many classifications there are. You start Class C is the lowest level, not to take away anything from these guys because the competition here is fierce and very good softball. But then you work your way up to a Class B, a Class A, and a Double A. So we should see some pretty good contests here today. Yeah, well, Class C, believe it or not, has the most teams entered in the in that league. Roughly almost 70 teams in the C class. So you're going to get to see most of the variety here. And obviously, when you look at fast pitch softball, 90% of this ball game is the pitcher. Because as you can see, these games move on rather quickly. Scores are normally low because of the proximity of the bases, how close the mound is to the plate. The reaction time is just unbelievable. The ball is just coming on top of you so quickly. Yeah, and when talking with some people before the game, as we take a look at Lebanon County Judge Robert Ebedy out to throw the first pitch. And
not bad. I think he got it over.
Yeah, he did.
When we, you look at this level of ball, it's going to be very good. Should be a good couple of games today. Our umpires for today's contest, Jim Klontz and Stu Shoemaker. So on the bases and behind the plate, these guys are pretty good. I've seen the rotation of ASA softball umpires in today, and there's no questioning a call. I mean, it is emphatic and more often than not right on. These guys are very good at what they do.
Yeah, you're right, because there were a couple of close calls in the earlier games that we had to see prior to this game. No argument whatsoever. As you mentioned, they were right on the money. And boy, on a hot day like today, you don't want to see tempers flare, that's for sure.
It is a little warm. There was a breeze blowing earlier, and it's kind of calmed down just a little bit. The temperature in the high 80s. It is a very sunny day. No clouds in the sky, which may cause a little bit of problem for outfielders and the like, but nevertheless, should be a great day for softball. We're going to get our first look at D'Ambrosio Dodge. They will lead things off. Randy Lammey, the second baseman, will be batting first. He'll be followed by Nate Stout at third and Josh McClellan in the number 3 spot at catcher. Scott Means is the cleanup hitter playing shortstop. Toby Ranck in right field. Brian Kaufman is at center field. Justin Hewitt at left. TJ Drost at first base and the designated hitter, the number 9 slot, Pete Dowling. In the field for Lauck Sporting Goods from Myerstown, across the outfield left to right, Zellers, Brosey, and Atwood. Around the horn is Wolf, O'Neill, Smith, and Fisher. Firestein behind the plate, and as we mentioned before, Scott Stout on the mound. He's going to look at Scott, and Chuck mentioned the southpaw, which will be a little bit of a different wrinkle compared to what we've seen to this point in the Class C state tournament. Everybody else going right-handy, and D'Ambrosio Dodge going to have to deal with a southpaw right out of the gate.
Very laid-back kind of guy. Had the chance to talk to him before the game, and he was telling me his array of pitching, and right off the bat, a bunt attempt thrown down trying to get on base. Lammey trying to work some magic early on.
And Lammey is behind in the count, 0-1.
Well, you look at Stout up on the mound. Scott's been around for a while, and as mentioned, he won 4 out of the 6 qualifying games to get to this point. So he's been throwing a lot. He says he gets his fastball close to 70 miles per hour. And he's a big guy that loves to work the black each side of the corner. He likes to go inside a lot on hitters. And that's one reason why you'll see the third baseman, especially here, Bill Wolf, will play very shallow up on the line, obviously for balls that come off the end of the bat.
Ground ball to the shortstop, and the throw gets away from the first baseman, Tim Fisher. And so Randy Lammey is quickly on with nobody out.
Well, we'll see O'Neill get this. He fields it well, but Steve has a tough time getting it out and throws it a little wide. So we'll go E6 there, because he definitely would have had Lammey without a doubt by a stride. So kick things off with a little bit of a mistake, a miscue to get the game rolling.
Another bunt attempt goes foul. Nate Stout, the third baseman for D'Ambrosio Dodge, at the plate this time. Interesting that these guys out of Elverson start with a couple of left-handers at the plate.
That's it. Stout against Stout here. I think some brewery might want to do a little promo. Well, it has to be tough for a left-hander facing a guy like Stout, the southpaw coming in at you. And if he has that pitch working on the outside, it's just tough to come around on it. And you can see right off the bat, Nate tried to lay down a bunt to move the runner over.
Ground ball, could be a double play ball to the pitcher. Safe at first, and safe at second, and safe at first, rather.
Well, Scott Stout had a tough time turning around to get the double play started, and you'll see some good speed. Randy Lammey gets down the line, and there is Scott. Watch the throw back, and ooh, very close, but it was in on the throw. Very tight play, but you look at that, you might want to say, hey, Scott, go for the short out, go right to first, because Lammey had a good jump on that ball.
And Lammy's nickname is Scooter, so he showed exactly why right there. Another bunt attempt popped up, and then caught by the catcher. Eric Firestein records the first out of the inning. And so now we have one down and runners on first and second for D'Ambrosio Dodge, bringing up the number 4 hitter, Scott Means.
Scott Means will come to the plate. He's the big bat in the lineup. You can see his average hitting .349, and he's going to come from the right side. He might be the first hitter we might get to see get a full extension swing. Everybody, first 3 hitters tried to lay down a bunt right off the bat.
If you wonder why, you're in the top of the first inning, you got guys trying to lay down a bunt and move a runner over already. Of all the games that have been played today, there's been one game out of 2 or 3 That was more than a 1-run difference, and that was a 3-0 game. These games are very close, very competitive. Scooter Lammey out at second. Nate Stout down at first base. And there's a swing and a hit into center field. D'Ambrosio has a read on that and gets it back in, and so they're quickly 2 down. Toby Ranck coming to the plate, the right fielder for D'Ambrosio Dodge.
Oh, there's D'Ambrosio. Nice job of fielding that fly ball to center field to get that in rather quickly with runners at first and second. Usually in the beginning of a game like this, you hate to spoil a golden opportunity. When a team makes a mistake off the bat, you like to capitalize on this. But right now, you can see the cool, calm collective Scott Stout. Done. There he is, Ken, hitting that outside corner. It's a tough pitch to hit. When he's got that working, this could be a very quick ball game.
0-1 pitch, a little off-speed pitch, pulled into left field, but right at the left fielder, Scott Zellers, and that retires the side for D'Ambrosio Dodge. After 1/2 of an inning, we're tied with no score. Lauck's coming to bat. The local guys from Myerstown coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning, and they led off by Steve Smith, the second baseman. He's followed by Tim Fisher, Steve O'Neill, Eric Firestein, the catcher, is the cleanup hitter. Scott Zellers at left, Jeff Miller, the DH, and the 7, 8, 9 hitters are Bill Wolf, Chris Atwood, and D'Ambrosio. For the defense for D'Ambrosio Dodge, and from left to right, Justin Hewitt, Brian Kaufman, Toby Ranck. Around the horn in the infield, Nate Stout at third, Scott Means the shortstop, Randy Lammey and TJ Drost. On the right side of the infield, Josh McClellan behind the plate, and 25-year-old Brett Riggins, who brings a resume of 10 years of experience to the game, is on the hill for D'Ambrosio.
Well, you got to remember Brett Riggins. He is only 25, and he started pitching when he was 15. But one of the reasons why the manager here is his father, Jeff Riggins. So he was brought to the diamond early on, and as mentioned, a lot of guys on this D'Ambrosio ball club also played basketball in high school. They were telling me about how athletic this team is. They really cover a lot of ground in the outfield, very quick. Justin Hewitt also played on that basketball team with him, and he can cover a lot of ground very quick in the outfield. He's also a big guy too. Anything up around the fence, he has pretty exceptional leaping ability, so we'll keep an eye on that. Any ball hit out the left field today, and we'll see if he's true to his word.
Leading off the inning for Myerstown, Steve Smith, second baseman, number 25. Try and get things going. First pitch right down the middle for a strike.
Well, there is Steve Smith, as you mentioned, hitting 300, and you got to like to start Brett Riggins. He went right down the pike just to get that first strike across the plate. He made the trip up from Avalon, New Jersey to be here for this game this afternoon.
That one misses just high, and it's even at 1. Yeah, that's a pretty good trick.
Yeah. Well, look at that. He strike right down the middle of the pike. That was a little low, and he got it working.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Boy, when that ball just drops like that, it's so tough to hit. And as you mentioned, these guys know that their reaction time, if they see that ball, they got to get that bat moving, or they're never going to get around on it.
Off-speed pitch is high, 2-2. Yeah, you got to remember, we're talking about the dimensions of a Little League field here. These guys bringing an underhand, fast-pitch softball at 70, 75. Some guys reported 80 miles an hour. Your reaction time is not long.
I think the third baseman better have the best reflexes. So close to the plate when he comes in. Anything that's pulled down the line, it's trouble. Well, we're going to look at this pitch fouled off. Steve Smith just got a piece of it. Stayed within the cage.
It's fouled up into the backstop as well as Smith stays alive, 2-2.
Smith fighting off the pitches here with Brett Riggins. And most of these guys like to do the same thing. Most of the pitchers that made it this far, obviously, one of the recipes for success is the pitching, and these guys love the mix and mix the speed. If you take a little bit off it, they become so dangerous, just like that.
Off-speed pitch fools Steve Smith, and he is retired for the first out of the inning, and that brings Tim Fisher to the plate.
Real nice job of Brett Riggins to set up the plate. There's the foul tip prior, and then all of a sudden he set this up with a good off-speed pitch, and just had Steve Smith fishing on the outside and just couldn't come up with anything.
Fisher hits one in the air to right field. Plenty of time, and underneath it to record the out is Toby Ranck, and they're quickly 2 down here for Lauck Sporting Goods.
Fisher a little aggressive, swinging at that first pitch, thought he had something to hit, and got it a little bit out of his wheelhouse and hung up there for Toby, and he got under it to make the second out of the inning. But Brett Riggins, a 25-year-older, and normally in softball, especially in Fastpitch, a lot of the pitchers are normally one of the older players on the team. They have that experience. They know where to place the ball, and 10 years experience here, and boy, it's paying big dividends for this team.
But experience is not a problem.
Exactly.
Lined into center field, and that's going to be extra bases all the way to the fence. Steve O'Neill is going to be in with a stand-up triple with 2 outs. The shortstop comes up big. You see why they have him batting in the number 3 slot.
That's it. The 3-hole hitter got all of it. We'll watch it one more time. Slight riser, didn't go exactly where Riggins wanted to go, and in turn has Brian Kaufman on his high horse, chasing it down up against the fence, and by that time O'Neill had plenty of speed to come in for a stand-up triple. So threatening here with 2 outs. See Lauck Sporting Goods trying to get something happening. This is a big opportunity now for your cleanup hitter, Eric Firestein.
Catcher hitting 293 on the tried to check his swing on a rising fastball in his eyes, and you can hear him say, "Oh man, like I know better than that."
He wants that pitch back.
2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. The 0-1 pitch. There's a base hit, and the first run of the game is scored as O'Neill comes across, and Firestein gets credit for the single and the RBI.
Clutch hit by the cleanup hitter. He's doing his job, and Firestein, the catcher, comes up big with a big single to get the first run across the board. We'll look at it again. A little high, but Firestein was able to fight it off, and he found some room in left field. And all of a sudden, O'Neill's able to just jog in for the first run.
First pitch over for a strike, and that's exactly what your batting order is designed to do. It really was only effective in the first inning, or unless later in the game you have your leadoff hitter actually leading off an inning. But you design those guys so they can get on base, bring somebody around. Good off-speed pitch on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Scott Zellers, the left fielder.
Scott Zellers coming to the plate and coming from the right side with Riggins. This is a guy that has good pop in his bat, and he's able to connect. Knock one out.
Just low. Count is 1-2.
Well, you look at Riggins, and you wonder how he's feeling now with a run coming across the plate. Sometimes pitchers early on breaks their concentration, but he's coming right back at Zellers and retires the side.
Zeller swings through a fastball, and that takes us to the end of the first inning.
Second strikeout of the ball game for Riggins, but he does surrender a run here in the bottom of the first inning.
1-0 for Lauck Sporting Goods in Myerstown, and once again we want to thank some of the sponsors providing the coverage for today's games.
And that is it. Lauck Sporting Goods, supplying the Lebanon Valley with softball, hockey, and other athletic equipment. Lauck Sporting Goods can also provide your team with jackets and uniforms. And for the outdoorsmen, Lauck's has a variety of hunting and fishing equipment. Lauck's has the largest variety of archery equipment in Lebanon County. So, if you're a sportsman and you have a need for Lauck's, yes indeed, you can be covered. And stop on by, located at 26th West Main Street in Myerstown.
I don't know if that's enough channels.
270. That's a lot.
I mean, that's what? That's about 80 ESPN networks, a couple of good local channels.
You got HBO East, West, South, North. You get it all. If you miss a movie on the East Coast, you can pick it up on the West, and it's right there. For the night owl, you got it made.
The time zone, you get 3 hours.
That's it.
D'Ambrosio Dodge coming to bat here in the top of the second, leading things off the center fielder Brian Kaufman. He's behind in the count 0-1 after fouling the first pitch off. That one just off the outside corner.
Well, this will be a big test here in the top of the second, especially for D'Ambrosio, falling behind 1-0. As you talk about, run support is very big and it's critical, and you like to see a team come right back and try to get something up on the board. Because Scott South, the wily old veteran, boy, if he has the lead, his confidence seems to mount, and then he starts working that corner. He's a tough customer to beat, and you can see his experience now. He knows how to take his time. We'll watch this pitch one more time. The southpaw trying to get it the back door to get the outside corner, but just couldn't get it there.
He's tried to hump up on the last couple to get the fastball by Kaufman, the leadoff batter here in the top of the second, and missed high on the first one, and Kaufman fouls one back to stay alive at 2-2. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Lauck Sporting Goods from Myerstown leading this contest 1-0. Off-speed pitch. Good job by Kaufman to wait on it, but he hits it right at the second baseman, Steve Smith, who retires him for the first out.
Smith very patient there, making the play. Didn't let the ball play him. It's a nice toss over to Tim Fisher for the first out of the inning. And there is Scott Stout, a guy who, if he has the ball coming down on the ground, he's getting the job done. He's been mixing it up already and really trying to keep D'Ambrosio Dodge off balance, and he's been doing just that.
Justin Hewitt takes a pitch inside for ball one. Left fielder stepping to the plate, trying to get something going here with one out. 394 here. This guy will put the ball in play. That one misses low, 2-0. Something you'll notice also about these games that differ from other slow pitch softball or baseball. The pace of this game is lightning quick.
Okay, now, all the way back. All the way back.
Hewitt's worked a 3-0 count.
Gotta bring that in.
We're going to look at the release point here. And Stout, you can see the release, the way he's diving out, trying to get a little body English on that ball. And look at the stretch and the wide. It's a beautiful pitch. Tough one there for Hewitt to get contact on. Beautiful pitch for Scott Stout.
And for a lot of the people at this level, see Hewitt take another one right down the middle, and now has worked himself to a full count. A lot of guys that grow up playing baseball through high school or maybe play semi-personal like that switch to fast pitch because it's not too dissimilar with the exception of the motion of the pitcher. And good play that time by the shortstop, Steve O'Neill, to retire Hewitt, who was hustling down the line on a ground ball. And a nice play here.
And watch O'Neill again. Here's the release from Stout. Catches him inside, really handcuffs him, and it wasn't hit hard. You could see the good athleticism by O'Neill, and he throws a perfect strike over to Tim Fisher to record the second out of the inning. Pitching and defense, that's what it's made of, especially at this fast pitch level. You're right, when you watch this, it's tough to play that high arc because this is so much similar to playing fast pitch baseball. It's so much more fun to be out there. You can actually steal. And defense means so much here. You know, guys getting up there just whacking the baseball. You really have to have your baseball smarts.
Hit well into left field. And that ball is going to be out of here. The first home run of this 2001 Class C state tournament. T.J. Drost, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, ties it up at 1.
Boy, that is huge. T.J. taking it deep. A Drost special, as we'll get a look at it again. Let's see the pitch. Came a little inside, right into the wheelhouse of TJ, and he let one rip, and it just went over that left field fence. As you see, Scott Sellers going back on it, but no way he's not coming up with that. And fence is at least, what, 12 feet out there, so, and he cleared that with no problem whatsoever to tie this ball game up at 1.
First pitch over for a strike. Drost home run, just to give you an idea of the dimensions of the field. Down the lines here in Prescott, 230, 240 into the alleys. 270 to straightaway center field. So if you're going to take one out to center field, you better hit it a ton. But he pulled it a little bit, got it in the power alley, and it's exactly what happened. He took it over the fence.
Yeah, look, maybe Scott Stout might have took a little off that pitch. He comes right back with a strike, and you see a little bit of frustration as he whips the cap off and says, I can't believe I let that one up.
After 1.5, we are tied at 1 on the power of a T.J. Drost home run. The number 8 hitter comes up big for the boys from Morgantown. It's only 3 hits in the game, but a couple of runs across. We'll be back in just a minute. Bottom 2 here in Prescott at the 2001 Class C Men's Fast Pitch Softball State Tournament. Lauck Sporting Goods of Meyertown, D'Ambrosio Dodge, traveling up from Elverson, PA, to participate in this tournament. And right now we are knotted at 1. On 3 hits, 2 of them extra bases. We've got a triple that was the catalyst for getting the run in the bottom of the first for Lauck's, and a home run last inning for D'Ambrosio that tied it up. So a couple of big hitting innings so far here. Ground ball right at the shortstop, fielded cleanly and thrown out, and Jeff Miller is retired just that quickly.
Scott Means, nice job. Let the ball come right to him. It was hit hard. Really didn't even have to budge. We'll watch it one more time. Riggins got the ball inside, and you can see the swing by Miller, which was pretty solid, but he hit it hard, but right at the shortstop, Scott Means, and he fires over to first to record the first out of the inning.
Riggins does not owe Means a Christmas gift after a hop like that. Bill Wolf, the third baseman, batting in the number 7 slot, steps to the plate for Lauck's.
Bill Wolf playing third base here for Lauck, and loves to play that shallow third base. Really comes in looking for anything off the bat. Doesn't want to give up any drag bunt attempts because that's done a lot.
What would you say that takes a special kind of player to be up that close at third base?
You're not kidding. He does a good job of it, though, I'll tell you.
Fouls one off down the left side.
Quick hands. That's what it's all about, has very quick hands. Here's a look at the third baseman, Bill Wolf, coming into today's game hitting .240.
And that's another thing I noticed when we first started getting the information from the teams looking at their statistics. Batting averages are a lot like baseball. That's another comparison between the two games. Skies one into left center field, shallow. The center fielder over to take care of that, and Brian Kaufman corrals it, and that is out number 2 of the inning.
Well, Bill Wolf tried to reach out and touch one, but didn't get all of it. Kaufman was right there to record the second out of the inning. Brett Riggins, after, I wouldn't call it a shaky first inning. I think the big hit for Lauck was the catcher Eric Firestein, that RBI single to knock in O'Neill. Well, O'Neill with the only extra base hit of the game for Lauck Sporting Goods with that triple, but that was a clutch RBI single to get the first run on the board.
That's going to be trouble out into right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit for Chris Atwood. So again, for the second consecutive inning, D'Ambrosio gets the first 2 outs and then gives up a base hit. Last inning, it cost him a run. We'll see what they do with it this time.
Big smile on the face of Chris Atwood. He knew he got it off the end of the bat and went the opposite way with the pitch. A nice job of doing that, and he got over the first base, had a big grin from ear to ear. He was happy he had it to drop, and you can see no lead here, so these guys have to stay on the bag until the ball is released.
That brings up D'Ambrosio, the center fielder, the number 9 hitter, trying to extend this bottom of the second inning. Fouls one off and is behind in the count 0-2. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Score tied at 1 in this Class C contest.
You can see both 8-hole hitters have gotten a hit today. T.J. Drost, the big hit for D'Ambrosio with that home run to tie the ball game, and then Chris Atwood with the single. There's a tough pitch inside by Riggins.
Rung him up on just on the inside corner right at the knees, and D'Ambrosio is retired looking, and that ends the second inning here at Prescott Field, and we are tied at 1 after 2 complete. Lauck and D'Ambrosio battling it out here in the Class C classification. Top of the third here in Prescott as D'Ambrosio Dodge comes to the plate trying to break a 1-1 tie. And the leadoff hitter, Randy Lammey, Scooter, who got on an error last time up, takes a first pitch strike.
Well, you mentioned about how the batting order is designed right here. D'Ambrosio is going to have the opportunity to put it to work again.
As the lay one down, going to be a quick play, no throw. Lammey will be on once again.
Scooter, a nice job of laying down the bunt. You can see Stout, nice release here. He's coming in. That will be a hit because not much Stout could do. Scott couldn't get it out of his hand, but by that time, Scooter was down the line. Lammey with a single. Nice job of laying down the bunt and trying to get Scout off the mound to make the play.
Another bunt here. They go to first to get the out, and indeed they retire the runner at second this time. Nate Stout moves Lammey over to second and is retired on the fielder's choice.
Sacrifice here in order for Nate Stout. He dropped the bunt, really deadens it well with the aluminum bat, and heads up play. Stout goes right to first to make sure he gets one. Last time you knew he had a little bit of a problem because Nate and Lammey had that play going, and Scott Stout tried to go to second.
Ball to the second baseman. And we got 2 outs now, but Lammey moves to third on the play, so Josh McClellan comes up and gets the job done. And the second consecutive fielder's choice has D'Ambrosio on the verge of breaking the tie. 2 down and a runner at third base, and the cleanup hitter Scott Means, who flied out to center field last time up, comes to the plate.
Well, didn't look like much, but Josh McClellan did a nice job of hitting the ball to the opposite side and moving the runner over. So you see both 2- and 3-hole hitters really giving themselves up to get Lammey over to the third, and now it's all up to your cleanup hitter. Scott Means has been very solid defensively at short. A big hit here could give D'Ambrosio a 1-run lead.
Randy Lammey waiting down at third base, hoping Means can bring him home. Beautiful off-speed pitch, just fools Means, and it's even at 1.
A Well, here is the off-speed. You're exactly right, Ken. Great job of getting it on the outside. Just raises Scott. Means not much he could do there. He comes right back with a high riser. Oh, big play by Scooter to come home. Really falling asleep defensively, and Scooter Lammey took full advantage of the opportunity to get the second run aboard, stealing home.
And D'Ambrosio Dodge takes a 2-1 lead. Now the bases are clear with 2 outs and a 2-1 count to the cleanup hitter Scott Means. Pops it straight up. First baseman standing underneath it. And Tim Fisher retires this, records the second out of the inning. Or, no, retires the side. That is correct. And after 2.5, D'Ambrosio Dodge leading Lauck Sporting Goods by a score of 2-1 as Lauck comes to the bat to try and tie this one up. Thank our sponsors once again. And it's the top of the order for Lauck Sporting Goods here in the bottom of the third. Steve Smith, followed by Tim Fisher and Steve O'Neill. And the first pitch is fouled back for a strike.
I'll tell you, Ken, just shows you how important Randy Lammey to get that leadoff bunt single. They were able to work him around, and his speed paid some big dividends to give D'Ambrosio a 1-run lead. Steve Smith will try to come back. We go back to the top of the lineup here for Lauck Sporting Goods and trying to come right back with another run. This has been a very, very competitive ball game, as what we've seen thus far today.
A very close game, 2 evenly matched teams to this point in the contest. 1-1 the count to Smith. Swings and fouls another one off into the back screen. 1-2.
Steve Smith playing second base this afternoon. A couple of nice plays defensively. Trying to be the catalyst to get things started. There is the 25-year-old, Brett Riggins. Just one mistake. I want to call it a triple to Steve O'Neill. He has 3 strikeouts in this ball game.
Smith stays alive on an off-speed pitch from Riggins. The count is still 1-2.
Well, we talk about this team getting back to the top of the order, trying to manufacture a run, but Smith unable to get on base. The first out of the inning, Randy Lammey.
Pops out to the second baseman, and that brings the number 2 hitter, Tim Fisher, the first baseman, flied out to right field his last time at bat. He's up with 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Well, Brett Riggins, every inning, he's given up a hit or 2, but he always finds a way to get that out pitch working. He's had a strikeout in every inning of work thus far.
Fisher squared around a bunt and then pulled it back, took a strike nevertheless.
There it is. Just didn't like it, but that was right down the pike. He knew it was rising. You see, he set the riser up with the drop pitch, and right there really fooled Tim Fisher. A very nice pitch here by Brett Riggins.
You know, and you say fooled, but man, that is a nasty pitch to try and hit. It gets
the
right
way
to
it
the plate
drops.
and just drops.
Yep. But it was set up perfectly.
Fisher stays alive with an 0-2 count, fouling one off.
Well, now Fisher's up there. Most of the time you're up there defensively, but now he's really going to have to fight it off when he's down on the count with 1 out in the inning. Choking up a little bit on the bat just to make sure he gets contact.
And he is right on the plate. Is in the dirt. And the count is 1-2.
In this situation here with Fisher now down 1-2, Riggins doesn't really want to throw anything off speed. He wants to blow one right by. If he does, with Fisher choked up, he's going to make contact.
Line drive just over the outstretched arms of Randy Lammey into right center field, and the number 2 hitter in the lineup has the first hit of the inning.
Nice piece of hitting. Tim Fisher fell behind 0-2 and was at the plate a little high, but he just reached out and made a nice little poke over Randy Lammey. Drops him for a single. As Toby Ranck comes up with the baseball or softball.
Reached out and slapped it right into right center field, and that brings Steve O'Neill to play, the guy who scored Lauck's only run of the game and has the triple from the first inning. Pitch comes across just above the belt high.
They're using the high seam Dudleys. More of an advantage for the pitcher. The ball doesn't carry as well, but don't say anything of that to T.J. Drost, because he was already sent one out of the park. Only home run of the ball game.
1-1 the count now to Steve O'Neill, who is 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. Trying to find the magic again as he takes a ball up high to get his team back in a tie, perhaps in the lead here. 1 down and runner on first base.
Well, the infield just as important as the outfield, especially in this fast pitch type of game, just for the fact that a lot of balls are not hit and clobbered to the outfield. We'll watch it again. Keep back. Oh,
right into the umpire's face mask.
Yeah, he seems to be all right. He shook it off, no problem whatsoever.
He's got it tough. He's a fast pitch umpire. Same, so right on the level with a hockey player.
You're right. Catchers are his best friend.
There's another base hit into left field, and that quickly, Steve O'Neill is 2 for 2 on the day. Moves the runners up 60 feet, and Eric Firestein, who had the RBI single back in the first, comes up with a chance for another.
Well, O'Neill has done it defensively, and he's also done it offensively. Nice piece of hitting again, back-to-back singles here for Lauck. It's the team out of Myerstown trying to get that tying run with runners at first and second. Just 1 out in the inning.
Firestein, the catcher, fooled on an off-speed pitch for strike 1.
Well, here's the guy I thought that came up with the big hit of the ball game. That RBI single was clutch. Remember, it was with 2 outs, and he had O'Neill sitting at third, and came up big. It's always big when you can score with 2 outs in an inning.
Takes a pitch high, and it's even at 1.
Well, now you have runners at first and second with 1 out. Different situation for Firestein.
Line drive and a good heads-up play by Steve O'Neill to get back and prevent the double play here as Firestein lines out to the shortstop.
Hit it hard, but hit it right at Scott Means. He was right there. Had a strong throw over the first, trying to double up Tim Fisher, but I should say Steve O'Neill, but it's not going to happen. O'Neill back in time, no problem.
Scott Zellers swings through the first pitch for a strike. 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
Well, Firestein had the opportunity. He came through the first time, but he's going to leave the door open now for Scott Zellers.
Zellers fooled on a breaking ball and is behind 0-2.
Yeah, see the way that ball dropped to the outside. Not much Zellers could do there. Very nice pitch by Brett Riggins. See the riser's working, and he's really changing those speeds.
A little bit of a breeze blowing now, too, hopefully cooling these players off a little bit because the sun is beating down here in eastern Lebanon County.
Well, they hosed down the field before our ball game, and we got a nice little shower. Sprayed the table.
Nice little misting.
Yeah, we're situated right behind home plate, so we get to see the balls and strikes firsthand.
Sky towards left field into foul territory, and it is going to be caught. Justin Hewitt makes the catch and retires the side. So Lauck Sporting Goods leaves a couple on here in the bottom of the third, unable to tie it up. They're trailing 2-1. D'Ambrosio Dodge coming to the plate to try and increase the lead when we come back. Front running and have been all year long, Erie Seawolves take on the Reading Phillies. You want to make sure you want to check that out. Live coverage beginning at 7 o'clock. That's this Wednesday here on Channel 23, Erie and Reading. And Chuck Curlin, I believe you will be in attendance.
Yes, I will. How about those Erie Seawolves? They jumped out. They had a 15-game lead, but they're falling. A couple of players promoted to AAA. Nice play by the third baseman, though, Bill Wolf.
Bill Wolf, one of those guys out there on defense, manning the hot corner, and retires Toby Ranck, the leadoff hitter, very quickly. And that brings up center fielder Brian Kaufman.
And talking about Reading and Erie, that's the first and second place matchup. Reading now just 4 games out of first. They've been playing some pretty good baseball. They have an opportunity now, if they could sweep the series, be tied for first place. Oh.
And that one got away a little bit, and the count's 1-0.
A little high in there from Brian Kaufman. Good job of getting out of the way. Came right across the chest. I'll tell you, he felt a breeze on that pitch.
Comes right back and splits the plate to even the count at 1.
Well, you look at a southpaw, and you got to remember these guys don't get to face too many lefties. It's got to be somewhat awkward, especially as we talked about earlier, the reaction time you have, and coming from a different release point is very difficult to pick up. And hats off to T.J. Drost to knock one out of the park. It's not that easy.
1-2 the count here with one down. Top half of the fourth inning here at the Prescott Field. An off-speed pitch bounces up there, 2-2.
Well, everything asked from Scott Stout has come through for this ball club. Lauck Sporting Goods have to be pleased. He's getting the job done. The Iron Man. It's his 7th game pitched in this tournament.
Gotta protect it here, gotta protect. Here we go.
Reminds me of a pitcher that played for the Chicago Cubs.
Pop up to the second baseman, handled easily by Steve Smith.
Yeah, Scott's out. Try to get a look at him again. I don't know if it's Jeff Reardon he reminds me of for the Expos when he was the closer, or pitcher to pitch. Finally, who was it? Kuzman with the Chicago Cubs? Was that it?
I believe so.
That's right. More Jeff Reardon-like, but I'll tell you, very efficient. He's doing a nice job of setting the plate. He's got a big guy at the plate, Justin Hewitt. Standing there right around 6'3", 6'4", and he's got some pop in the bat as well, hitting out of the 7-hole.
Hewitt with a ground ball right at the shortstop, fielded cleanly up with the throw, and that retires the side. 1-2-3 this time. For D'Ambrosio Dodge, unable to get anything going and extend the lead, and boys from Myerstown come in one more time, trying to get back into this one, trailing 2-1. And Brett Riggins takes them out here in the bottom of the fourth, enjoying a 2-1 lead. So he will try and keep Lauck Sporting Goods from getting on the scoreboard anymore, and they will bring to the plate this half inning Jeff Miller, Bill Wolf, Chris Atwood.
Seems like a youngster out on the mound, and right now he's in a nice pitching duel. And with Scott Stout, just one run between the two, 2-1, as Lauck's trying to get on the board to tie this game up here in the fourth inning.
First pitch to Miller is fouled off, 0-1.
Well, Jeff Miller listed as the designated player. Remember, there is a re-entry rule here, so you can have guys switch in and out. It's not like once you leave the ball game, you're done for the day.
0-2 to Jeff Miller here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Well, we talked about Riggins, the 25-year-old. He's already thrown 50 pitches, 32 of them been for strikes, so a good percentage. 32-18.
Off-speed pitch grounded to the shortstop, and Miller is retired. 6-3 if you're scoring at home, and that brings Bill Wolf to the plate, the third baseman.
So Riggins has been very efficient. He's getting the job done just over the 50 pitch count. Bill Wolf, I'll tell you, Ken, a couple of nice plays defensively at third. That shallow third base, really in on the line. The human vacuum.
Watches the first pitch go by for a ball. Looking at a 1-0 count now. Line down the line, foul. Boy, did he really turn on that one.
Well, that's a pitch when you're playing third and you're shallow, and that's Nate Stout playing third. It's going to wake you up. Watch the turn. He just really comes around on it. It's a shot. Well, Nate Stout does not play nearly as close to the plate as his counterpart, Bill Wolf, who's now at the plate, though he is in maybe 3 or 4 feet from the third base bag.
Tries to line down. It's a foul ball.
Well, Josh McLyman almost made a barehanded stab at that, and that would have been a da-da-da, da-da-da. That would have been a pretty fancy play if he was able to come up with it. Good effort, though.
Could you qualify for a web gym here?
I guess you could. If they pick
Maybe
it up,
make baseball tonight.
I'm sure they could pick it up on the feed.
Oh!
Bill Wolf hanging tough once again with two strikes.
Home plate umpire Tim Klontz is getting beat up back there. He's been hit a couple times off the back when the ball hits up high in the cage and comes down on him. And he's already had the bird cage rattled a couple times as well. He's earning his keep today.
D'Ambrosio's catcher Josh McClellan doing a little stretching out to ward off cramps. May have taken that one in the back as well.
Off the ricochet.
There is not a lot of room behind home plate here at Prescott Field. Off-speed pitch is high.
Wolf thought about it and pulled back at the last minute.
Well, this is a good at-bat right here for Bill Wolf. Working the pitcher high into a pitch count.
Oh, yeah.
Still alive with 2 strikes, 2-2. Pitch is low, and he's worked into a full count now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Look at it again. This comes in a little low from Brett Riggins. Didn't get it up where he wanted it, and heads up by Bill Wolf, who's choked up in the bat and really protecting the plate. He's on top of it, and this is the payoff pitch.
He holds up on ball 4 and hustles down to first base, and a terrific at bat for Bill Wolf to draw the base on balls.
Well, correct. That's the first walk of the ball game.
No, ball play, stage play, sir.
Riggins already with 3 strikeouts, now 1 walk. We gave you his pitch count earlier in the inning. It was pretty effective at the 50 pitch mark, but once we gave you that information,
He probably threw 10 pitches that at bat alone.
Exactly, right.
And this high, starting off 0-1 to Chris Atwood, the right fielder. Number 8 hitter in the lineup, up with 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Myerstown trailing by 2-1, but they've got a runner on. Maybe something going here. A pitch right over the middle for a strike.
Well, with the runner on, love to move the runner over, so you'll see TJ Drost as well as Nate Stout. They're going to come in almost like a sacrifice bunt will be coming into effect, but he's just trying to move the runner over, but it's a full cut.
Fouls that one straight back and is behind 1-2.
Well, that what we talked about, the guys coming out of the 8 hole, came up with a single with his first at bat, and this would be a perfect opportunity. These guys from Lauck Sporting Goods trying to get another run. They're trailing by 1 here in the 4th.
Fooled on a beautiful off-speed pitch by Brett Riggins. That is the 2nd out of the inning. And that brings number 9 hitter D'Ambrosio, the center fielder, up to the plate with 2 down.
Brett Riggins, 4th strikeout of the ball game, just 1 walk. And talk about D'Ambrosio coming to the plate. Center fielders had a couple of nice plays in this ball game defensively.
Lays one down, will try and beat it out, and cannot do it. They get him by a step, and that retires the side here in the 4th inning for Lauck Sporting Goods. Leave 1 man on a base on balls. Other than that, a quick inning. Morgantown leading this one 2-1. We have 1 change in the field as we start the 5th inning here at Prescott Field for Lauck Sporting Goods. Gary Marincin goes in at second base for Steve Smith, and he will lead off the next inning when the guys from Myerstown come to the plate. But for right now, D'Ambrosio up 8, 9, and 1 hitters this time. TJ Drost, who homered last time up, beat down, and then top of the order, Randy Lammey. Drost takes the first pitch for a strike.
Well, you can see right now, Gary Lauck trying to mix things up, getting everybody involved. And you know he desperately needs another run.
Foul ball and a long strike, despite the terrific pursuit that time by Scott Zellers in left field. And the count is 0-2.
Oh, you're going to look at it again, coming down, trying to come up with it. Good effort made, but could not come up with it was Scott Zellers. TJ Drost.
Speed pitch gets away from Stout, and it's high at 1-2.
TJ Drost already knocking one out of the park, but we gave you the pitch count for Brett Riggins, but here we have it for Scott Zout. He has thrown 50 pitches thus far. 32 of them have been for strikes, 18 for balls, so he's been pretty consistent as well. They're almost identical. Both guys really matching each other, but the edge right now being given to D'Ambrosio, able to manufacture a run by this guy. TJ Drost knocking one out of the park. Ken, you look at this team, they've done it with power, and they've also done it with speed, with Randy Lammey getting on base with that bunt, and they were able to manufacture him over to third and steal home.
Top of the 5th, and TJ Drost draws the leadoff walk. after working himself to a full count. So the first man is aboard for D'Ambrosio.
Both pitchers starting to tire. That's the first walk surrendered by Scott Stout in the ball game. As talked about Brett Riggins, he gave up his first base on balls in the 4th inning as well.
Squares around, try and bunt. Does Pete Dallin, the designated player, and fouls back for strike 1.
Pete squared around the bunt, and he made like a half-hearted check swing at the ball. Didn't fully square around. He had the hands down at the grips of the bat and just tried to touch it and try to get contact to get it in the field of play.
Squares around again, lets it go, and it's 1-1.
TJ Drost has to be careful over at first. The rotation play is on, and you better watch if he wanders too far off first. They might be able to nab him on the comeback.
Ground ball, the second baseman could be 2. They get 1 and hold up. Marincin tried to make the tag, but by the time he was there, Drost was already by him, so he gets the force out at second. So 1 down, and Dallin is aboard on the fielder's choice.
Oh, look at it again. For a moment there, I thought Marincin had made contact with TJ Drost, but he didn't. But he tossed over to get the sure out at second. No time to get the ball over to first, so Pete Dallin stays on board with the fielder's choice.
That brings up the top of the order. Randy Lammey, who's been aboard twice today, scored 1 run, has a single, got on board in the 1st inning on an error by the shortstop, and has been the catalyst for the offense to this point in the ball game for D'Ambrosio. An off-speed pitch right across the outside corner for a strike. Lammey coming into this ball game batting a hefty .535. That one's fouled off to the left side into the parking lot.
Here we go.
And I'll tell you, his bunt single was pretty big, the way they were able to move him all the way around the 3rd. And then he has been the difference in the ball game, stealing home to give D'Ambrosio that 1-run lead, 2-1 here in the 5th.
And that one was close, just off the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
You look at it again, you're right. Came in a little bit. Nice pitch by Scott Stout. Had to drift in, and I thought he might have got, solid single in the hole.
Lammey with a base hit to left field, and it's shown why he's hitting .535 on the season coming into the game, because he's 2 for 3 on the day.
He just clocked that one. Reached out and picks up his 2nd hit of the ballgame. He's been on base all 3 times. Remember, he came up, and he's the leadoff hitter with got on base via the error. But they were unable to bring him around the 1st time, but he scored the 2nd time. Different situation here with 1 out. But you have runner, also have Pete Dallin around at 2nd. So 1st and 2nd for the 2-hole hitter Nate Stout.
Stout with a chance to increase the lead, and
have
Eric Feierstein, the catcher, wants to call time and talk things over with his pitcher and bring the infield in for a discussion as well, and perhaps talking about not only the pitching and strategies, but perhaps some defensive strategy in the field as well, with 1 down and runners on 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, you're right. And for a moment, Jeff Riggins came out to talk to home plate umpire Jim Klontz to have a few words there as well. Well, looks like things are back in order, though. Well, we're going to have a pinch runner. That is definitely the case.
Pinch runner is Doug Yaniscoli, an outfielder who has been on the team for 5 years, headed out to 2nd base to run. And a little swinging bunt, pretty much. Played to 1st. They got him at 1st. Very close play at 1st, and a heads-up play. Good hustle by the 2nd baseman to get there on the coverage.
Hey, here it is again. A bounder. You can see Stout letting it go, and he keeps the door open. And Gary does a nice job of getting the out, making sure there's now 2 out in the inning, and you have a runner on 3rd. There he is. The pinch runner just entering the ball game. Doug Yaniscoli try to come home. A little bit of cushion here for D'Ambrosio as they only hold a 1-run lead. Big spot here for the catcher, Josh McLyman.
Speed pitch over for a strike. Count is even at 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. The pinch runner, Yaniscoli, over at 3rd. Randy Lammey, the leadoff hitter, down at 2nd.
Trouble.
Fouled off the end of the bat that time for McClellan. And it's 1-2.
1-2.
Oh, Ken, I'll tell you, you can't ask for a better day for baseball. These guys can see everything. The sun is out. Beautiful afternoon. Perfect and ideal conditions. And if you're a fan from Elverson, D'Ambrosio Dodge, they have been getting it done.
Ground ball over the first baseman's head. The second baseman is there. Good defensive play that time for Lauck, and they'll come into the dugout for the bottom of the 5th inning, trying to get that run back. They're trailing 2-1 to the boys from Morgantown, rather.
Discover Pennsylvania's hidden jewel, Pine Meadows Golf Complex in Fredericksburg. We challenge you to find a better fairway in Central PA. And by the Wetlands Restaurant and Lounge. Come out and enjoy a fantastic dining experience for lunch or dinner at the Wetlands. The public is welcome. Located at Route 343, just north of Lebanon. You can also check out their website at www.pinemeadowsgolf.com. There is the score. Ken, we have been entertained with a very competitive ball game here this afternoon.
This has been a good one to this point. Bottom 5, Lauck Sporting is trailing by a run, 2-1, trying to get back into this one before time runs out on them. And it's been some sparks of offense here and there, and predominantly in this one, good pitching and good defense on both sides.
Strategy has come into play. These guys aren't just up there hacking. Heads up baseball.
Top of the order up for Lauck, Gary Marincin, who entered the field defensively last inning, takes a called strike to start the count here, 0-1.
And you figure he enters the ball game defensively, and it just seems the ball seems to find the new guy that comes into a game. He made 2 putouts in that inning defensively.
Pops that one up to the second baseman. Lammey underneath it, plenty of time, and records the first out.
You talk about Lammey, what a game he has had offensively and defensively. Comes up to retire Gary Morrison for the first out of the inning.
That brings up the first baseman, Tim Fisher. Fisher 1 for 2 on the day with a single and flat out to right field. Lets a breaking ball go.
Well,
4-1.
Ken, it's just not fair. We're located right in front of the concession stand, and young guys walk by with those salt and vinegar French fries. The aroma just drifts right in front.
Swing and a foul tip, and it's even at 1.
They are addictive. Tim Fisher, as you mentioned, 1 for 2 in the ball game, coming up with a big single back in the 3rd. And with 1 out and the count even at 1 apiece. Has to protect. Brett Riggins doing a great job on the mound for D'Ambrosio. This could be trouble.
Trouble into right field, but hustling in to make the play, Toby Ranck in right field for the second out.
You're right. Toby did a nice job coming in on that. For a moment there, it looked like it might drop in. Didn't get off it. We'll look at it one more time. It's Tim Fisher. He made a solid swing, just didn't connect fully, and it looked like it might be a Texas leaguer and drop in between Ranck and Lammey, but Toby getting up on the horse and making a nice play. Second out of the inning.
Steve O'Neill, who has tripled and singled, swings wildly through an off-speed pitch to start the count 0-1.
You think he was looking for the fence there?
I don't know if he's looking for the fence. I know he was looking fastball because the off-speed pitch got him good.
Well, he didn't get cheated from the swing. Nice off-speed from Brett Riggins. Read that one well. Steve O'Neill, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Has the only extra base hit of the ball game for Lauck Sporting Goods. Triple in the 1st. He came around to score.
It's a pitch 2-1. Entered the game as Lauck's leading hitter, batting .320 on the season.
You can understand why he's hitting out of the field.
Yeah, 2 for 2 today. Yeah, he has been solid so far. 2-1 the count. Speed pitch again over for a strike. And we're even at 2.
Steve just shakes his head. We'll look at it again. He was looking for something else, takes a little bit off of it, and Steve O'Neill says, boy, I'd like to have that one more time. Oh, pretty close. Tough pitch to take, but it was a little low.
It was low, and O'Neill able to check his swing and get himself a full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Swinging on the third strike is O'Neill. Catcher McClellan dropped the ball but throws him out of first base, and so Lauck is unable to get anything done here in the 5th. We go to the 6th. Boys from Myerstown trailing by a score of 2-1 here in Prescott. Back at Prescott Field, Ken Phelps along with Chuck Curlin as we start the 6th inning in this Class C men's fast pitch state softball tournament. Prescott Field, D'Ambrosio Dodge from Elverson, PA, taking on Lauck Sporting Goods from Myerstown. Right now, the visiting team from Elverson leading 2-1. Trying to extend the lead, and there's a shot to left field. Short hops the fence. Throw coming into second, and it is a terrific double for Scott Means, the cleanup hitter.
Well, Ken, just about to say, are these pitchers going to start to tire? The heat is in play, and right there, Scott Means got all of it. The way it jumped off the bat, it looked like it had enough to clear the fence, but it hits the base. Heads up by Scott Sellers to make the quick throw inside and hold Scott Means to a double, but what a way to lead off the inning.
There's a strike to the number 5 hitter, Toby Ranck, the right fielder. And with nobody out and a man down on second base, and I would have thought that of the 2 that were hit, that would have had more distance on it. There's a base hit up the middle. That should score a run. Going for second, going to be a play, and is gunned at second base. Toby Ranck trying to stretch it into a double. Will get credit for a single and an RBI, but is thrown out at second base by the center fielder, D'Ambrosio, who bobbled it just a little bit. And actually, he may have helped him in the play because it lured Ranck to try and stretch it, and D'Ambrosio able to throw him out.
Well, D'Ambrosio, we'll look at it again. Good job, good heads-up throw to throw a perfect strike. And it was right there for Gary Morchin, and he lays down the tag, and dead to rights is Toby Ranck, but he gets the job done. RBI single to score Scott Means, and a little bit of a cushion here now for D'Ambrosio Dodge. Now they hold a 3-1 lead.
3-1 lead, and the center fielder, Brian Kaufman, at the plate with a 2-0 count. In the top of the 6th inning. And there's a strike from Scott Stout.
Well, Brian Kaufman 0 for 2 in the ball game, and trying to step in here with Scott Stout. Looks like he has a little bit of lost velocity.
Good play by Wolf. Wow, excellent play, because Kaufman sat on the off-speed pitch and turned on it. Hit it right to Bill Wolf, who fielded it cleanly and threw across for the second out of the inning. And now Justin Hewitt, the left fielder, steps up.
Bill Wolf, a couple of nice defensive plays again, and there's the quick hands to make the nice throw over to first to Tim Fisher. There's Bill again, right on the money.
And that will do it in the top of the 6th for D'Ambrosio Dodge, but not before they get another run home. A leadoff double by Scott Means. He comes around to score the run and give D'Ambrosio Dodge from Elverson a 3-1 lead over Lauck Sporting Goods. We'll be back in a moment. Bottom of the 6th here in Prescott, 3-1. D'Ambrosio Dodge leading Lauck Sporting Goods. 5 hits apiece, 1 error committed by the guys from Myerstown. Other than that, a very cleanly played ball game.
Get a look at Brett Riggins wearing number 44. Reminds you of that fullback from the Washington Redskins, John Riggins. And he has been battling in this ball game. What a job. He's got 5 strikeouts in the ball game with just 1 walk.
Chuck, I don't know if he would remind me of John Riggins in stature, but the number and last name, I'll give you that much. Brett Riggins doing a very credible job on the mound today and has a 3-1 lead, trying to hang on here as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, not in stature, but I think the yeoman's work that he has been doing on the mound relating to his pitching prowess. What a job he has done. As mentioned, 5 strikeouts in the ball game, just 1 base on balls, and the 25-year-older just continues to throw hard.
Good breaking ball there, and a 1-1 count out on Eric Firestein, the number 4 hitter, leading off for Lauck, who we followed this inning by Scott Zellers and Jeff Miller.
As you see, Firestein came up with that big RBI single back in the 1st. Before you had the only run of the ball game for Lauck Sporting Goods, and instrumental now to try to get on base to get things started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Remember, we're only playing 7 here this afternoon. Boy, that insurance run in the top of the inning just looms so large right now because runs are hard to come by in this style of play. These pitchers have been on top of their game, especially Brett Riggins.
2-2 pitch. And Firestein wants that one back very badly. You could hear the grunt with the swing, and he had the off-speed pitch and weight on it, was a little bit out in front and pulled it foul. The count remains 2-2, and he knows he had a pitch he could really do something with there.
Yeah, he did, and that's why he wanted it back. He sent that a country mile foul, and boy, he straightened that out. It was going to clear the fence with no problem. Firestein, a nice job catching today for Scott Stout. Setting up some nice targets.
Lays off the fastball high and has worked a full count, 3-2.
So the basketball boys of Twin Valley holding a 2-run lead. Right now trying to secure it with defense. Time called.
Perhaps a little gamesmanship here.
Yeah, exactly.
Try and get yourself back in the ball game.
That's it. Trying to get everyone fired up.
Swings at a pitch high and fouls it off. Catcher McClellan hangs on, and there's the first out of the inning.
6 strikeouts in the ball game here from Riggins. We'll look at it again. And here is the pitch. And we talked about the catcher, Josh McClyman. Nice job of holding on to that for the first out of the inning. Going to look at it from the opposite angle. Josh McClyman, the signal caller this afternoon for D'Ambrosio.
First pitch, fastball swung through by Scott Zellers.
Well, Riggins, Ken, looks like he's getting stronger as the game progresses. He is throwing the heat. His father is the manager of D'Ambrosio Dodge, Jeff Riggins, and taught the son well. He was a very heady pitcher on the mound for a guy who's just 25 years old. Really does a nice job of mixing his artillery.
Got a 1-2 count now. Scott Zellers, the left fielder. Zellers just struck out and flied out to left field in 2 at-bats today. Fouls that one back right into the plexiglass.
I think that's Jeremiah back there with the camera, and he's a lot to do. Watch this ball. It's going to come right into your living room off the foul tip. Well, there you get the heads-up view. Cameraman right behind home plate woke him up. Jeremiah's like, whoa.
Rip foul down the left field line. Boy, about another 5 feet to the right, and that is extra bases for Scott Zellers. Count still 1-2 with 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Myerstown trying to get back into it. They trail 3-1 in this Class C men's fast pitch softball state tournament contest.
Morgan Meyer. It's Morgantown. It's not the Borgs if you're a Star Trek fan. Oh, beautiful pitch.
Off-speed pitch and a swing and a miss. And quickly 2 strikeouts to start the 6th inning, and that brings Jeff Miller, the designated player, to the plate. And Brett Riggins, I tell you what they don't want to do is they don't want to let Brett Riggins get in a groove right now this late in the game.
That's right. That's his 3rd consecutive strikeout. Remember, he ended the 5th with striking out Steve O'Neill, and he has retired Firestein and Zellers. 7 strikeouts in the ball game by the youngster.
Whatever it is that he's doing, he has found it and is doing it well.
Yeah, that's it.
Here in the latter part of this ball game.
Riggins has found his groove, and here's the designated player, Jeff Miller. Jeff Miller has grounded to Scott Means on both occasions.
One and 1 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Swung on a foul out of play right side.
Bill Wolf on deck. Made a couple of nice defensive plays at third base. Would love to get an opportunity to get to the plate. Try to get Miller on base.
And there's a base hit out in the left field. So a 2-out hit for Jeff Miller brings Bill Wolf to the plate, the third baseman.
Bill Wolf had one of the best at-bats today against Brett Riggins, working that walk back in the fourth, and he's going to come up here with a nice situation. A good single here by Jeff Miller, his first hit of the game. Knocks it out the left as Justin Hewitt makes the play and gets the ball back into the infield. And the man who's patrolled the hot corner, that is Bill Wolf. A couple of web gems in this ball game, and see Josh McClyman go out to talk to Brett Riggins, and after back-to-back strikeouts to record the first 2 outs of the inning, he surrenders a single to Jeff Miller, and Josh wants to have a few words with Brett, saying, hey, we hold a 2-run lead here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's be careful how you pitch to this third baseman, Bill Wolf. Doesn't want to give up a lollipop here.
Wolf at the plate now with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And corner's in close, maybe expecting a bunt here. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
Whatever Josh McClyman had to say, Brett Riggins understood him 100%. That's a beautiful pitch. Almost unhittable for Bill Wolf. It was on the outside corner. Getting a look. Jeff Miller over at first.
Swung on and hit foul and going out of play. A Wolf in and down in the count now 0-2 with 2 outs.
Riggins, 7 strikeouts in the ball game. He's just walked 1 batter, and it's the guy who's at the plate now, Bill Wolf, who really made Brett Riggins work at that at bat. For a moment there, we were talking about the pitch count, and I think he must have threw 10 to 12 pitches to Wolf in that series of exchanges. Wolf will try to work him again here with a runner on base. His team trails by 2.
And a stolen base for a pinch runner, Bates, and for Jeff Miller. Gets down to second base with 2 outs. As Bill Wolf takes a ball, so it's 1-2 now, and a runner in scoring position for Lauck.
Oh, we'll look at the throw again from Josh McClyman. Bates comes into the ballgame as a pinch runner, and he's coming in for some speed, and he puts it right to use. Slides in with no problem. First stolen, well, actually the second stolen base of the ball game. Remember, Randy Lammey stole home to give D'Ambrosio the go-ahead lead.
Swinging third strike, and Bill Wolf pulls up a little bit, laying with a cramp perhaps in his right hamstring, but his strikeout is the 3rd out of the inning. And right now, the boys from Lauck Sporting Goods need to play some defense. They're trailing 3-1 as we head to the 7th inning, and D'Ambrosio coming in to try and extend the lead as we head to break here. We'll come back for the final inning of this contest in just a moment. Top of the 7th, D'Ambrosio out in front 3-1. TJ Drost, the batter, fouls the first pitch back. He'll be followed by Doug Yaniscoli and Randy Lammey. Drost with the first major offensive surge in the game for D'Ambrosio Dodge with the home run back in the top of the 2nd inning. A 2-out blast to left field. Reaches out and slaps that one out to left field for his 2nd base hit of the day. He's 2 for 2.
On base all 3 times. Nice piece of hitting again for TJ Drost. Went with the pitch from Scott Stout and just sailed it over Steve O'Neill's outstretched reach. We'll watch it again. Over between 2nd and 3rd. There is O'Neill trying to come up with something, but could not. Scott Sellers fields the ball in left field.
Yaniscoli squares around and then pulls it back, takes a ball.
Yaniscoli, Doug's first plate appearance. He came in as a pinch runner for Pete Dowling.
Pulls it back once again, and the count is now 2-0.
Getting a look at TJ Drost, who has been perfect here this afternoon for D'Ambrosio Dodge. 2 for 2 with a home run and a walk.
The 3-0 count now to the number 9 hitter, Doug Yaniscoli. Nobody out, and TJ Drost down at first base.
Well, Lauck Sporting Good trails by 2. This is important. They retire their sides here if they want a shot of trying to come back in the bottom of the inning. It'll be their final at-bat of the ball game. Try to get some late inning heroics.
And Scully lays a 3-1 pitch down. Stout goes to first base, almost overthrew the second baseman, Marinchin, on the coverage. So the 1 out now, and Drost moves to second base on the play.
Well, Doug getting the job done. Nice sacrifice bunt to get Drost over to second. They have two. Wouldn't mind to get another one here. TJ feeling the heat, takes the helmet off. Try to cool down a little as we go back to the top of the lineup. And guy who's done a pretty good job today, Randy Lammey, offensively and defensively. It looks like we're going to have a little conference at the mound. Are we going to have a change?
And we're going to have at the very least, a defensive substitution.
Okay.
For Lauck at third base. Chad Eberle comes in for Bill Wolf, who I think may have hurt his hamstring running out the ground ball at the end of the last inning there. Stout will stay on the mound. We got the defensive change at third base. Actually, we're going to have some movement. Marinchin will be at third. Eberle will be over at second base. Pitch misses just outside. Randy Lammey at the plate now with a count of 1-1. Pitch is high, 2-1. D'Ambrosio out in front, 3-1. One down here in the top of the seventh, trying to get some added insurance. Let's take a look at Bill Wolf there on the bench.
Bad last at bat. You can tell making the run to first. You could feel when he made the swing. See, he pulled something, and because he knew defensively it was important to have someone out there that's 100%. And he took himself out of the ball game. Chad Eberle moving to second. Gary Marinchin over to the third.
Lammey with a 2-2 count. Right back at Stout. Fields at Lammey, hustling down the baseline, and Stout gets it there just in time. So Lammey is retired for the first time today here in the seventh inning, and that's 2 outs, and we'll bring up Nate Stout.
Well, here comes Scott Stout with the play defensively. Lost sight of it for a brief moment, but does the toss. Had to be awfully careful because Lammey has some exceptional speed and almost beat that toss out to first. But he does record the second out of the inning. But remember, you got Drost at third.
Ground ball to second, right to the new guy. Just as Chuck said earlier, Eberle makes the play and retires the side. So Lauck will come up with one more shot to try and get back in this ball game. They trail it 3-1 to the guys from Morgantown. D'Ambrosio Dodge.
Young and old enjoying baseball here this afternoon. And the hot dog and the salt and vinegar fries. They got it all here.
Chuck, are you hungry?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just thought we'd verify that fact. Last at bat here for Lauck Sporting Goods, unless they can tie it up. Bottom of the seventh inning, trailing 3-1. They said 8, 9, and 1 to the plate. Chris Atwood, D'Ambrosio, and Gary Marinchin. Atwood takes the first pitch for a ball.
Well, Lauck Sporting Goods was able to get to Brett Riggins early in the first inning, and that's been about it. He has 8 strikeouts in the ball game, has just walked 1 batter. Once he found his groove, he has been very difficult to come around on. Chris Atwood singled, though, back in the second, but he was also the 4th of 8 strikeout victims of Brett Riggins.
1-1 the count to Atwood. Smashes one to center field, but doesn't get enough of it. Right down to Brian Kaufman for the first out of the inning.
There's another guy you mentioned comes in the ball game. Doug Scully makes the play. Looks like Gary Lauck is going to be the pinch hitter. We'll be hitting for D'Ambrosio.
Lauck's the owner of Lauck Sporting Goods. It's not just a coincidence. He's up with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Takes the first pitch strike.
Here it is. We'll look at that pitch one more time for the strike. He said, "Welcome to the ball game, Gary." Perfect strike down the plate, and Gary trying to revenge himself there, just couldn't make contact. Comes into today's ball game hitting .250. He's 0-2 behind a guy who's been pretty much money this afternoon, Brett Riggins.
One and two now the count to Gary Lauck with one out here in the bottom of the 7th. And the leadoff hitter, Gary Marincin, waiting on deck. And you see why he's a pinch hitter. Gets good contact, but it's right at Randy Lammey at second base, and he is retired for the 2nd out of the inning.
He choked up on the bat, tried to make contact to get the ball up the middle, and shaking his head no, and love to have that pitch back because he's seen the ball well, but just hit it right at Randy Lammey, and that is the 2nd out of the inning.
So Gary Marincin comes to the plate as the last hope as it stands now for Lauck Sporting Goods. First pitch is taken for a ball. Ken Phelps and Chuck Curlin with you here in the last bit of this ball game. Prescott Field, Class C Men's State Championship. And that pitch is over for a strike, 1-1.
Really starting to feel the sun now. My friend, I'm glad you brought that sunblock. Whew. Sun is shining here in a
High
beautiful
noon
afternoon.
and no cloud cover whatsoever. Gary takes a pitch in the dirt, 2-1.
Gary's first plate appearance as he came in for starting second baseman Steve Smith. Gary moved from second and to third. Bill Wolf came up lame as he took himself out of the ball game. A couple of substitutions, moving guys around.
2-2 pitch. Fly ball into center field. It should do it. And indeed, D'Ambrosio takes this one as Brian Kaufman comes on to corral the fly ball. And in the hopes of the local guys, Lauck Sporting Goods from Myerstown, a 3-1 victim to D'Ambrosio Dodge from Elverson, Pennsylvania. And all in all, I think pretty good pitching performances on both sides. And unfortunately for the guys from Myerstown, Chuck, D'Ambrosio just had a few more timely hits, some good hitting.
That's exactly it. Both teams were even at 6 hits apiece, but I'll tell you, Brett Riggins was on the money. 8 strikeouts in the ball game. He just walked one, Ken, and I think as the game progressed, he got stronger and stronger on the mound. Not to take anything away from Stout, because Stout, I thought, pitched a very good ball game. The left-hander was right there, but as you mentioned, timely hitting was the difference in this ball game today.
Well, the good news for Lauck Sporting Goods is this is a double elimination tournament, so they are not done for the day for the tournament just yet. They will have a much more difficult time, though, to battle back through the losers bracket. D'Ambrosio Dodge again advancing in this Class C 2001 Men's Fast Pitch Softball State Tournament. Second half of the doubleheader coming up here momentarily. South Lebanon taking on Michael Bees, a winner of an 8 o'clock game. So these guys hit the field for the second time today. Tough assignment, but that's how it goes in these state tournament events. For Chuck Curlin, I'm Ken Phelps. We'll see you in just a few moments for the second half of our doubleheader here at Prescott Field.